Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Backyard Garage. So today I am actually starting here in my bathroom, the one that we're going to be putting a shower in. So I'm going to start the renovation on this, so let's jump in. Alrighty, so we're going to start with getting this vanity here removed. The first thing I did off camera is I removed all the drawers and I disconnected all the plumbing, the water going in, the drain pipe to the sink, and everything. So now the next thing that I'm gonna do here is I gotta start getting the top off. I could pull the cabinet out, but this is actually flush against the wall and it's pushing in, so the whole thing can't come out. So I'm gonna have to get the top off and then worry about the base. So I'm gonna start prying off the top. A lot of times there's screws holding the tops on. This one doesn't have any. It's just kind of glued in, so. Alrighty, so now that I have that ripped out, the next thing I gotta do is start getting this cabinet here out. So let's get started. Alrighty, well, so I get the cabinet all out and it's cleaned up. So the next thing that I gotta do is I wanna get this floor out of here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna remove the toilet. I don't think I'll film that, there's not much room. But pretty much you turn your water off, unscrew the hose from the toilet, flush it, get it empty, shove some towels down into the P-trap, and then get the water out and then just take the bolts off the bottom and pull it up and remove it. So let me do that, I'll be back, and then I'll probably start working on the floor. Alrighty, so now that I got this toilet removed here, I got the bathroom in here all cleaned out and ready to go. So the next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start removing this tile here. Start a little bit right here, but I'll show you how I'm gonna do it. So what I have here is a, it's called a demolition hammer. What it is, it's just like a miniature jackhammer, and it's really good for demolishing stuff, like popping up tiles. What this does is there's like a hammer and it pops this really fast and it makes it, yeah, it's just gonna pop the tiles up. So I'm gonna start over here and then just slowly just start going down. Alrighty, so now that I got the floor all broken out, all the tiles out from around everywhere and on the floor, the next thing I gotta do is I gotta cut out the wall a little bit. Probably cut it up about right there, maybe up to halfway or so, and then come across and then over. I need to expose this, and the reason I need to expose it is because I gotta start, I'm gonna have to move the plumbing, which I'm gonna have to put new plumbing down here. I'm gonna build my own shower pan, but I gotta move the plumbing for the sink over there. I'll have to look up and see what the electrical's doing, whether it's coming around, whether it's coming from the bottom. I just gotta kind of open up the wall and see where everything is. So I'm gonna take my good old, right here, X-Acto knife, or utility knife, and just start slicing and removing. Alrighty, so I got the sheetrock removed, and a couple things I noticed, which is really awesome, is I had to make this drain come over to here. So I got really lucky. So I'll probably put the new drain around in here. This will probably be like a 30-inch vanity, I believe is what it's going to be. So I got to move this over to come out for that. And this plumbing's going to work out perfectly because I just got to cut these off and then move the lines over, which is going to be pretty easy to do. So I'll get to that a little bit later. And then also, not sure if you'll be able to see this or not. It's dark, but right here is the wire for the lights. It's just right here. So that's going to be pretty easy to do. So what I'll do is I'll probably just measure up from right here. Find the middle of this of 30 inches-ish, and then just go on up. And then I can put a box in up there. And then hopefully when I disconnect these, I can just pull the wire out, unstaple it right there, pull it out, fish it up, and then put the electrical right there for the lights here. So that's what I'm planning on doing. So what I did next is the shower that I'm going to be putting in, it's nothing huge because this bathroom is small. And this is just a guest bathroom for the most part, for guests when they come and stay the night. So what I'm going to do here is this right here, this mortar bed or cement or whatever you want to call it, this is about 1 inch thick. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to bust this out right here. Actually, I probably got to go over a little bit more. I got to count for a 2x4 that's going to go in. But anyway, I got to bust this out here and then cut this mesh right here. Usually when you put cement down, you need like a backer. Like they probably use tar paper, as you can see right here. And then you need a wire mesh laid down, so that way the mortar or cement has something to stick to and it doesn't crack and move on you. So I'll have to cut this out, and then I'll go from there. So yeah, let me gather my thoughts here. It's towards the end of a work day for me, and I really just need to gather my thoughts, so I'll see you in a second. Okay, so it's the next day. Here's what I decided to do. I decided to cut down some plywood to fill in that gap there. But before I think I get that screwed in, well, I guess it's not going to matter. I got to bust this out where this line that you see here is. I marked out for the shower and where it's going to go. So I got to bust this concrete out here and then get the plywood screwed in. So let me do that just so I have a level surface. So when I go to start tiling, I have something level to work off of. Alrighty, so now that I have the floor here all done and cleaned, I made some marks on the lines because these are going to have to end up on studs. So when I go to put the backer board on, it's just got to line up on a stud. So, and then I'm going to have this up to 72 inches here for the backer board because that's just, I looked and that was a code around here. So I just got to cut this down here quick. And then when I get back, I will, not sure if I'm going to start the plumbing or if I'm going to put the cement board down. I'm just not sure yet. Another thing I do have to do, I got to go into my house and verify before I start getting too far in the distance that I need from the toilet drain to this, just so I know where it's going to fall. It looks like there's studs running here and then another stud running about right here. So it looks like my mark, if you scroll down, is right here. So it looks like it's going to fall right between those two floor joists. But anyway, yeah, let me get my cutter out, get to cutting, and I'll see you in a sec. Okay, so I got everything all cut out here. I didn't record it. I just took my oscillating saw, cut it out. As you can see, it's right halfway on the stud. So this is good to go. So the next thing I need to do is I'm going to be building a wall. So I'm going to have to remove this electrical here. And then I'm going to chop this tube here. Chop. And then I guess I'm going to be, I might start moving the plumbing as well. So we're not going to do a full length wall. We're only going to go up 7 feet for the shower itself. So let me, yeah, let me start getting started here. Thanks. Okay, so like I was just talking about, I got to get this moved out of the way here. I'm going to cut this, but I'm going to leave it a little bit long because I don't know exactly where I want it yet. So, I'll just cut it about right here for now. And you shove your towel back in. The reason you use a towel is because there's sewer gases coming out of here. And they have plugs that you can put them in them. But I just shove a rag in there and it seems to work just fine. So the next thing I got to do here is I got to get these two lines cut. And I'm converting from copper to PEX. So we're going to see how my sweating goes. So let me get all set up. Alright, before I start sweating anything in here, let me make a couple holes because I'm going to put a T here. It'll tee up and then one will go up and then over for the shower. And there's going to come up and over. So I can join this pipe over here. I don't know if my camera's picking that up. But anyway, there's a pipe over here that turn you. Oh, I guess you can see. But anyway, yeah, I got to get a couple holes in here. So let me get those drilled quick. So since I drilled holes, I need to put one of these on. And what this does is it just protects me from running a screw into my water lines and then having a mess later. There we go. And then I'll take a couple of screws and drill them in the holes to keep it in. Okay, so I have the water off. These valves are fully open. First thing you gotta do, you shut your water off, obviously, then open the lowest valve in your house. For me, it was a garden valve, and then all the water drained out. So now I'm just gonna go ahead and cut this pipe here, my pipe cutter. I'm not sure what happened, but what I did is after those were cut off, I took this tool right here, which goes on the pipe, pretty much like this. And then you just spin it around and get it clean. I just did that real quick, but it cleans off your pipe. And then I took some emery cloth. I don't know where it went, but I took some emery cloth and cleaned it additionally. And then I used some flux. And I was stressing the importance of flux. You have to get this, put flux on here. Because what that does is It sterilizes the metal, and it also helps helps the solder suck up into the copper once you start getting it hot and braising and stuff. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna take our solder wire here, but before that, because I don't want to burn down the house, I'm gonna put this here, and they're gonna heat up. You're gonna heat up the bottom of this. You don't necessarily want to heat, you just want to heat it all up. So when you touch this on, it'll go around and in, and it'll go around and in and suck up in and be good. So I'm gonna take my map torch. Start heating it up. Generally, you want to take a towel and wipe that off, but that's a very sloppy solder job. But you know what? It'll work. So let me remove this. I got a little char on the wall. Just be careful so you don't burn your house down. The reason I have this, and actually I should probably put it up against the 2x4, is because drywall will not catch on fire. It's not supposed to. The face might catch on fire, but the actual drywall itself, it doesn't burn. That's why it's very fire retardant, so it doesn't get a lot of, you don't get a lot of fire with it. But anyway, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and get this other one in. So I moved you out here onto my counter because it's gonna be a little bit easier to show you this. But I got my PEX tubes here. Here's a PEX fitting. If you see, it's a barbed fitting. I'm not sure if that's picking it up. Okay, yeah, so it's just a barbed fitting. And this is your PEX tube. Usually I do red for hot, blue for cold. You could use whatever color. It's behind a wall, you won't ever see it. But you just take this and you shove it in. Oh, before you do that, there's a million different types of PEX fittings. My PEX crimper uses these rings here. So you slide a ring on, put your PEX fitting in like that. And then is what you're gonna do is you have a tool, looks something like this. You put your ring where you want it. You take your tool, put your ring in the tool, and then you just crimp it. So let me come over here and make sure that you guys can see. So I'll just open this up, put it in. I'm gonna close it down, but not crimp it yet. And then I'm gonna slide the whole tube and ring, just so there's a little bit, of tubing hanging out. Here, let me see if I can do this better. Sorry, it's kind of hard to film while you're doing this, but you want your ring up about 1/4 of an inch down on the PEX pipe, and then you just take this and you squeeze it together. This one is kind of tough. There you go. And you let it go, pull it off, and there you go. You got a watertight PEX fitting. So there's one that's going to come up from that solder joint that I just put in. So I'll have to add another little piece going down, and that will get crimped onto both sides of that. This side is going to go up into the shower, and this side's going to come over into the wall. Generally, you want to use 3/4 of an inch until you get to a T of pipe, but since I don't have that luxury, I'm just going to have to use 1/2 inch. So I'm just going to continue on doing this. Put my ring on. Take my T, slide it in. Crimpers on, give it a good old squeeze. There we go. That's done. On the ends of these, I'm going to be using these. It's just yeah, it's just a plain barb, and it's so when I turn the water back on, so we can use it, I'm not going to get water right everywhere. It's not going to leak. All right, and that's how I do my fittings. I'm just gonna go ahead and wrap this up quick. Okay, so now I have everything hooked up. I turned the water back on. There were no leaks. We're good to go. So is that what that tells me? Is that I did a good job, and it's supposed to be like it is. Now you're probably wondering why I just capped the ends of these. The reason being is because I don't have the stub outs, and I don't have the shower, the handle or the valve, the shower valve yet. And I'm not sure how high we're gonna put that, but we'll discuss that later. So next thing I need to clean this up because it's kind of a mess, giving me a little bit of anxiety. So let me get this all cleaned up and I'll be right back. All right, so the next thing I gotta do here is I gotta get this light down. The reason being is because that's just where I'm at. So I gotta turn the lights off. And unfortunately you all won't be able to see super well. I do have the floodlight on. Let me see how it's coming through. Oh yeah, that's good. So now I gotta start taking this down. So all right, so here we go. I got a wall up. Now this is a 36-inch wall. Shame on me, I should have made it 3 more inches longer. That's okay, I'll just put a couple 2x4s up to it. Call it good. Another thing that I did off camera is I put these 2 things in here because this is gonna be like a soap shelf. So yeah, that's where I'll put our soap and stuff. So we'll tile all this around here. But this is what she's looking like. Back. So I got it framed up. But like I said, I don't have a support going all the way down in the middle. I'll probably put one there, and I'll probably put one at the bottom. The only reason I don't is because I got to get that shower valve. Maybe I'll put a couple on the insides. I don't know yet. But anyway, but once I get the shower valve, then I can put that in I can figure everything out and then kind of just go from there. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching my videos. I really appreciate it. It's been, you know, I don't know, a project, and I love doing this stuff. So this is kind of where it is. So thanks for watching this video. Hit the like and subscribe button so you can continue on this journey with me. And I'll see y'all next time. Peace.